What's up, guys? This is Webby, and this is your Monday Night Raw review for August 1st, 2016. To me, this is just a show. And I'll go over some reasons why I say that. First of all, this is my first Monday Night Raw review. So I want to tell you what I think about the announce team now. And I like the fact how they are set up now. It brings back some old school, how it used to be, and there's nothing wrong with a little old school. I like how it's set up. And I also like Corey Graves being on the Monday Night Raw announce team. I'm all for that. I'm all for that because it's making Michael Cole a lot better, and it's making Byron Saxton a lot better because they are focusing more on the matches now. They are focusing more on the matches now, which is something that needed to be done for so long. That is something that needed to be done for a long time. And, for the longest time on Raw, all we heard was the $9.99 bit and this and that, and nothing about the matches. So I like the fact that they're talking more about the matches now, and I like the new setup on how the announce team is. It gives an older look, but at the same time, it freshens it up a little bit because we haven't seen it like this in a long time. Start off the show pretty hot in my eyes. Start off the show pretty hot, and I like how we start off the show because finally give the girls the women's championship the first big attention to kick off the show with Sasha Banks and Charlotte. I like why they started off. They're giving that some big, huge attention, and they gave that some solid 15 minutes. I like that they started off like that. And they came and they were really battling back and forth, both really good on the mic. They're both getting really good on the mic. Charlotte already really great on the mic. She's just really, excelling her craft, making it excellent. Sasha Banks, the more she gets on the mic, the better she gets. I thought that what they were saying, which was a little childish. I don't know. It was a little high schoolish, which there's nothing wrong with that. But they were both talking about one night stands and and that kind of stuff, which I don't know is a little childish. Charlotte said that Sasha Banks was nothing but a one night stand, which a one hit wonder. She can only do it once. Sasha Banks said Charlotte was only a one night stand because Ric Flair is her dad. So, they were just both babbling back and forth about that kind of stuff. But we all know that come SummerSlam, they're going to tear the roof off the Barclays Center. So, it's just going to be great. Chris Jericho comes out, and he's really just bashing Sasha Banks, saying that, she's nothing, she's not a good champ, and Charlotte, she's amazing, and, she's 10 feet tall and above, and she's accomplished way more than the Nature Boy has ever done, which I disagree with, but he's doing what he's supposed to do, build up Charlotte, make, and help make her look like she's, unstoppable. So, that brings out Enzo. Enzo comes out. He makes all his jokes. And that leads to Mick Foley making a match. And it was Chris Jericho and Charlotte versus Enzo and Sasha Banks with the help of Dana Brooks. Chris Jericho and Charlotte picks up the victory. And we go from that, and next week after Raw, Dean Ambrose will be on the Stone Cold podcast. So, to me, some of the things that happened on Raw this week really shows that the brand split meant absolutely nothing, because they're bringing SmackDown superstars and using them right after Raw to build Raw up. To me, that's what's doing. It's because they're using a SmackDown superstar and Dean Ambrose and putting it on the Stone Cold podcast after Raw. To me, if you're going to use Dean Ambrose, then you should have the Stone Cold podcast after SmackDown. I mean, come on. You already just pretty much gave SmackDown the shaft on the freaking draft. You should give SmackDown a bone every once in a while. So I think that's kind of dumb. Not only do I think that's dumb, I think that's just nasty and dumb and ignorant on WWE's part. But they have to make Raw the almighty A show, which it should be. Don't get me wrong, it should be. Raw should be the A show no matter what, because it is. It always will be. But you have to give SmackDown a bone every once in a while, and you haven't really. So we go from that to a pee break match. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Braun Strowman is a walking advertisement for a ratings killer. Yes, Braun Strowman is a walking advertisement for a ratings killer. He cannot wrestle. He can't do jack. He can't wrestle. He can't talk. He went out there and has done the same thing that he's done for the last couple years since he ever debuted. He's doing the same crap that he did in the Wyatt family. He comes out, he spits his tongue out, he blahs, does a backward choke slam, does a big boot, does a splash in the corner, and the match is over. The only thing I can say is, before I waste any more time on this video, on this awful superstar, is the less he's on the TV, the better. So we go from that to another match that was pretty much pointless. The Shining Stars versus the Golden Truth. And the only thing that was good about this match, and which was pretty much nothing, but if I could point out anything that was halfway decent about this match, was R-Truth playing Pokemon. It's the only thing that I could point out that was halfway decent. And that tells you that there was nothing decent about this match. So after that, we finally get to something that's good. Finn Balor and Seth Rollins cut an amazing promo. Neither one of them outscaled each other in my eyes. They both did an excellent job. They both just slammed dunked the promo. Slam dunked it. It was excellent. Both men looked on their games heading in to SummerSlam on this week's episode. I can't wait to see what happens on next week leading up to SummerSlam. But this week during the promo, both men telling each other, hey, you know what? You're going to go through me to get that title. Each one trying to outstage each other, but they were really, really on their stride, and I'm really glad that Seth Rollins wasn't able to outstage and outscale Finn Balor at the moment right now, and they didn't let him do that, and they're really trying to help Finn Balor out and in that way, and they really were trying to. They really had Seth Rollins, in my eyes, help Finn Balor out a lot in this promo tonight. See, after that we had the U.S. Championship. Now, I'm sorry, but earlier on, Mark Henry was in the back and talked about how he was going to put people in the Hall of Pain. And he told Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon this. Well, he gets a United States Championship match out of that. We all know that Rusev is going to win this match. And he won. Great. I'm glad that Rusev won. And then out comes Roman Reigns. And the only thing I can say this is, that tells me that the Roman push is done. The Roman Empire push is done for now. Yes, it's done. And I can't wait for Rusev at SummerSlam to make Roman Reigns either tap out or pass out. Because Roman Reigns at this point has his mind set and has his eyes set on the United States Championship. Because he came out, the Superman punch on Rusev. His eyes are on the prize, and that's the United States title. But I highly doubt that he's going to take that title off Rusev. And I can't wait to see Roman Reigns either tap out or pass out. So, Rusev, can't wait to see you crush. See, Titus O'Neil versus, we're going to make Darren Young great again. Well, apparently we're not going to make Darren Young great again because Darren Young lost to Titus O'Neil. Shows how fast and how fast that went down the tube. Titus O'Neil beat Darren Young. Ignorant. That's all I can say about that is ignorant. You should. Ignorant. That's about all I can say about that because there's nothing else to say about that because who cares? No one cares. They overdid it. They overdid it with all the we're gonna make Darren Young speeches again. So no one really cares about his gimmick. So no one really cared about him losing. No one really cared about his match against The Miz. So, it's kind of like just whatever. Nia Jax, she looks awesome. She had a squash match, but they're really pushing her, and I like that they're pushing her right now. It looks really good, and she's going to be a major threat to the women's division. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson loses to the New Day very, very quickly. However, right after this happens, they viciously attack the New Day, and once again this week put them on notice that they are coming after those tag team championships. And I am glad. I am glad that this is continuing. I am glad to see that all this is coming together, and I'm glad to see that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are still on a path of destruction through the tag team ranks and through the tag team champions. Cesaro defeated Sheamus, and nothing really to talk about here. Cesaro is supposedly going to get a championship match later on down the line. See if that really happens. Jinder Mahal is on Raw. Whoop-de-doo. Nothing to really talk about there. Seth Rollins defeated Sami Zayn. Look, Seth Rollins, I like Seth Rollins. He's got it all. Sami Zayn, and I know a lot of you that watch this video, that are going to watch this video, are not going to like me when I say this. I like Sami Zayn as a worker. He knows how to wrestle. He can put on a good match. But his character, to me, he looks like a glorified taxi driver. And I'm sorry, but that's what Sami Zayn reminds me of, a glorified taxi driver. So, but they put on a good match. It was a great match way to close the show. It was a great match closer. So, that was a great match closer. And then we go to our finish. Brock Lesnar, the Beast, is back. The Slayer of Viperville is back. Well, Brock Lesnar took a trip to Viperville because Brock came out and Paul Heyman was spewing about how Randy Orton is hearing voices in his head, and he needs to hear voices about how he's going to take a ride to Suplex City, and he needs to hear voice, and if he doesn't, then his voices are full of malarkey, and his voices need to hear this and hear that, and that Randy Orton will never be able to hit a RKO out of nowhere because he's not man enough to hit an RKO out of nowhere. And he went on and on and on. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, bam! Hit an RKO by Randy Orton. And the Beast went to Viperville. So, to me, that's another one of those things where the split happened, the brand split happened, but at the same time, the brand split didn't happen. I know they're using him to build the feud up, but I'm glad, it's making it not as lackluster. I'm glad to see that. But that was Monday Night Raw. I hope you have enjoyed the review. If you did, like the video, comment below, and subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow for my SmackDown live review. Until then, I'll talk to you later. See you on the other side.